Hello and welcome to a lifelong love affair podcast. I'm your host, Lana, and I'm so happy to have you here with me today. My goal is to help you manifest the lifelong love affair you desire and deserve to have. No matter where you are in your love journey, you are in the right place. In this episode, we are talking about big goals and how big goals can help you create the lifelong love affair you desire and deserve to have. Now, why am I saying that big goals are important for our relationships? Because big goals help us excel, they help us grow, they help us create fulfillment in our lives. And a lot of the times we're looking to be in a relationship with a partner, with a man, a woman, because we want to be happy. But one thing is to be happy, and the other thing is to create that fulfillment within our relationship in order for us to continue to grow on that path and really create a happily married or long-term relationship. So there are three types of goals: type A, type B, and type C. Now, the A type goal is a goal that we already know how to achieve. We achieve it and we set it because it's part of our lives, but we also already know how to do it. So A could be, for example, cooking. If you already know how to cook and you decide that you want to try a slightly different dish, that's an A type goal. Now, what we usually end up doing in our lives is that we set B type goals. If we look at careers, for example, an A type goal in your career is to stay in the same team, but then you take on a slightly different project within that same team, but you already know how to do it. The process is the same. Maybe the people change, maybe the product changes or the service changes, maybe the timelines are a little bit different, but it's an A type goal. If we look at a B type goal, then you might be moving departments and you might slightly elevate by like one level maybe, or you might have a slightly heavier project to take care of, for example, if we're talking about projects, and that will be a B type goal. You kind of already know how to do it. It's not so rocket science, and you realize it might be more challenging, but you can figure it out. You're pretty confident about it. And then the C type goal, let's say, it could be going up 2-3 levels in your company, for example, and you don't know how to get there. It doesn't mean that you have to achieve it within a year's time. It just means that you want to set that goal and you decide that you're going to figure it out along the way. You don't know how, but it's something that you really want to do. So let's take, for example, finding a new partner. We may have had a certain level of relationship. Our partner is a certain way with certain values. There's a certain dynamic in that relationship. And if we decide that we're going to find another person, but with a similar landscape in the personality, for example, then we're going to achieve the same result in our relationship, just with a different person. If we decide to go for a B type goal in our relationship, we might end up doing something a little bit better. They might be maybe kinder. Maybe they have better values that relate to us. Maybe they are more educated. Maybe they listen to us better. But it's still a B type goal in terms of our relationship, because we're not striving for the higher level. We're not trying to get and meet a person that will meet all of what we really want. And oftentimes what we do is that we are too scared to even imagine what we would really want in a relationship. When we take this idea and now we put this concept into an existing relationship, a serious relationship, whether you don't have kids, you have kids, you've been together for 2 years and it's serious, or 30 years and it's serious. Having a big goal, yes, it does challenge your relationship, but it also sets you apart in your relationship because it allows you to grow together. So in my program, I teach people how to set big goals for their relationships, whether they are single or in an existing relationship. Why? Because we get to grow into the person that can achieve that goal. And in doing this, our relationship grows too. So let's say you are in a relationship and you want to set a C-type goal. When you set a C-type goal, you want to set a goal that you've never achieved before, you don't know how to get there, and you agree, both of you, on working on it together in order to achieve it. So let's say you want to buy a new house and you've never bought that house at that asking price before. This goal will help you and your partner grow into the people who can buy the home. If you are in a relationship and you have no more connection with your partner and you're just at a standstill, you're not feeling good in your relationship, you don't feel seen, you don't feel heard, you feel like you're living it like a roommate, a C-type goal at this point in time would be, I am living a lifelong love affair with my partner. And I'm growing every day with my partner, and we are more and more in love every single day together. We have trust, we have sparks, we have our life story. We are creating our own love story and living it. And what we try to do when we are in a place where we're at our lowest, for example, in our relationship, we decide that we're going to work on our relationship and we're going to go for a B-type goal. Why? Because, yeah, I know that if I try to communicate better, for example, my relationship will improve. I know that if I come home early to have dinner with my family, then my partner will be happier and I will be able to have a better relationship. But these are short-lived periods. They're not long-term periods. And what we often end up doing is that we try to set goals in our relationship, but the goals are focused on the negative of the relationship. So if we are in a place in our relationship where nothing is working, or part of our relationship is not working at all, we're going from not working to B-type, which is survival mode. We don't want to survive. We want to thrive in our relationship. We want to be able to go from surviving to thriving right away. We don't want to stay in the survivor's mode. Why? Because when we go from surviving, we end up going backwards again into a almost non-existent relationship. So I want you to consider having a C-type goal for your relationship. What would your ideal relationship look like? You can do it on your own and you could do it with your partner. It doesn't matter. The most important thing is that you write it down. And if you're single looking for your partner, what does that relationship look like? Put down all of your feelings, all the feelings and emotions that you want to feel. Put down your values. Put down the different activities that you'd love to do with your partner. And you can even put down the income level that your partner will have. We can go and we have a blank canvas. We can take a magic wand and use it and create the lifelong love affair that we desire and deserve to have. But it takes daring big. It takes being bold and going for it and knowing that I will succeed and I will be able to create this lifelong love affair no matter what. So when we set big C-type goals, it allows us to stretch. It allows us to create fulfillment in our lives. It creates excitement in our life. Why? Because we have something to go for. We are spiritual beings. We live in a physical body and we have an intellect. And what we want to do is that we want to live as spiritually free as possible without being, I'm not saying that we have to go and meditate every day, but our spiritual side is perfect. Our physical body is imperfect. It ages, it has the good and the bad, the positives and the negatives, but our spiritual side is perfect. And it's always for expansion and further expression. And so when we go for big goals, we awaken within ourselves a light, a part of us that was dormant. And when we go for something that we love, we start attracting the life that we want. Because we start to grow into the person to become that. We start to grow our faith, our belief system. We start to become more resourceful. We vibrate on a very different energy. And our vibration comes from our emotions. And when we aim for survival, we are aiming for a very low level of emotions, right? We will not be vibrating on a very high frequency, and we will not be in harmony with a high frequency relationship. So I want to encourage you today to think about how would your relationship look like, your ideal lifelong love affair. Take 5-10 minutes, put some music on, relax, and write it down. And you don't have to do it all today, but start. Start today. Decide that today is going to be the day that your relationship, your intimate romantic relationship, will start taking a shift. You will tell your new story. My husband and I, we lived in survival mode for a very, very long time. We were trying to fix our relationship. And it wasn't until we decided to go for big goals, to aim high for our relationship, that we started to change it. And today we are living our lifelong love affair. Every single day, I fall more and more in love with my husband. Every single day, he falls more and more in love with me. And I'm not speaking for him. He tells me that. So there is a time and a place to work on our relationship, but it shouldn't be the majority of the time. The majority of the time should be dedicated to achieving a high C-type goal. And there is nothing more beautiful than seeing your partner joyful, excited, and going for something that is lighting them up, because then your partner lights you up again in return. So I want to encourage you today to go for your C-type goal. It doesn't have to be a home. It doesn't have to be in your business. It doesn't have to be in your career. It could be a holiday. It could be also just designing your relationship. How would you want your relationship to look like? And how would you like to communicate? How would you like to feel? All of these things. And you will see that when you start writing this down, you might decide in that moment that one thing that you're going to do that will already impact your relationship. You will decide, for example, well, I don't want to ignore my partner anymore. Why? Because you wrote down that you guys are sharing your lives together and talking freely together, being transparent and open, and that you are attentive and that your partner is attentive and listening. And so you will realize that you want to be better for your partner because you want to live in congruence with that vision. So this is my little short podcast for today. I really wanted to talk about big goals because they are underestimated. And we often fear that if we set big goals in our relationship will fall apart. But it will not fall apart when you have the right support. So actually set your big C-type goal and get the help that you deserve in order to thrive in your relationship. If we're looking to survive, that's what we're going to get. Our spirit, our subconscious mind only delivers what we're looking for. So if we're looking for a surviving relationship, that's what all of the efforts that we're putting in will go towards. If we are looking for a thriving relationship, then that is where all of our efforts are going to go towards. And it seems scary, but it is more scary to live a life unfulfilled with an illusion that we have more control, with the illusion that our relationship will one day change or hopefully be better, with the illusion that one day we will find true happiness. But if you are able to find this happiness within your current relationship and truly, truly, truly be fulfilled and happy and reignite the spark and the romance, that's a gift in itself. That's something that my husband and I were missing. That's definitely one of the things that we were missing when we were trying to create our lifelong love affair. And I've helped other couples do the same thing. I've helped individuals do the same thing. So give it a try, go for it, be bold, and get the help that you need to achieve the goal. But do not deprive yourself from creating your true love affair. If there's anything that my husband and I are grateful for every single day, it's that we reignited that love for each other. And we are so much more joyful and happier and calmer and lighter. And no matter what comes our way, we always figure it out because we can count on each other. And we always know that we have a strong bond and a strong foundation in our relationship. We can rely on each other. We can have fun together. We can goof around. It's much easier than it's ever been. It doesn't have to be difficult, but we have to be bold. If you liked this episode, I would love for you to rate it and leave a comment on the platform of your choice. This will help the podcast reach more people and help more people manifest true love. You can also share your aha moments on your socials and tag me with #a lifelong-love-affair. I welcome any suggestions or questions that you would like me to talk about or answer on my podcast. So you can send me a message on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, or via email. All of the links are in the show notes below. Have a wonderful day and remember that you can truly create the lifelong love affair you desire and deserve to have. Until next time, bye.